It's Melissa.
And Roxanne.
We're back today to talk to you a little bit more about body work and energy work that walks along with that, and kind of from a personal perspective. Roxanne has been was my, I guess I can still call her my massage therapist for, if I guess I still need a massage, I'd come to you. She did a lot of treatment on me. I was looking back at notes, and we decided since April of 2018. But to kind of give you some context to where I was, probably for the prior 7 years had been dealing with a lot of chronic illnesses, and majority of it was chronic pain. Body was very unstable, and I had given up all medications as a choice of more of a holistic healing. And part of my modality was always, I had a massage therapist I seen weekly. That was just part of what I did instead of medications. So I always was seeing a massage therapist. Also, in addition to that, I may have seen people that, were doing some type of energy work, cranial work, acupuncturist type of stuff. But really, until I started seeing Roxanne and using, or her using her modalities, that's what changed my life. And what I really want to talk about this today is, if you're watching any of the other videos, you will see that I do channel Maitreya, and there's many other things that's going on in my ascension path. But just to put things in context, it's all great to receive and know those are your divine gifts to embrace. But if your body is not in a stability or in a stable position, from a health, emotional, energetic, you're going to have some intense challenges, and you may not progress at the level that is presented for you. So in order for me to do what I do, I needed to have a stable platform. So Roxanne, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you to kind of give them from the point of view of from, as we call a massage therapist, but you do so much more than that. So we'll kind of put that in context of how you were able to help me become stable and be able to embrace my next steps.
So massage is just one tool in my toolbox. It's what the general public understands, and so that's generally how I present myself as a massage therapist. But Melissa was sensitive to energies, and when I found that out, it was easier for me to add different modalities. One thing that we needed to do was to clear her body of toxins. So we did lymphatic drainage, and we worked. For a while, she was coming almost every week. Not at first, because once I would work with her, she would have days where she needed to recuperate. So she wasn't coming as often, but she was making progress. And so some of the things that we did were the lymphatic drainage, which I use equipment to assist. It goes faster. I did use massage. I used a Ginseng, which is an acupressure modality that uses very light pressure and can be done with the client fully clothed. But it really moves the meridians and the energy in the meridians and balances them so the body can heal itself. And I have probably 70 different formulas that I will pull from depending on what's needed that day. We also did a lot of negative emotion release, and also belief systems that were not serving her. And she really responded well to those, because once we started removing the negative emotions around her condition, the frustration, there was some anger, some holding on to thinking she would never be able to get rid of this condition that she had. When we started changing and removing that from her energy field, she started to respond even better. So depending on what you're needing, that's something that I would use. We did call upon the archangels, her guides, my guides, dragons to clear away, the fire dragons to clear certain residue. And we used micropoint stimulation along her spine, which she responded really well to. And that allowed the nerves in the spine to become healthy again. And so the energy would flow. And when all the nerves in the spine are open to the energy flow, the nerves feed all of the body, everywhere. So if the spine is healthy, then the rest of the body can follow suit. And it took about 8 months for Melissa's chronic condition to no longer be chronic, which was a huge deal for her. She didn't have pain every day.
Yeah, I mean, and put that in context. I mean, when you're used to dealing with the chronic condition and also in chronic pain, you kind of just numb yourself. I mean, there's nothing that actually gives you relief where you're pain free. It just doesn't exist. You find things that help you tolerate. And as Roxanne was saying, is I was coming as often as I could tolerate, because there for a while she was doing a lot of benefit, but it was very painful. I was very sensitive. I had a lot of toxins to overcome. Even though I thought I was living a clean life since I'd given up the meds for several years, there were still things that was embedded in my cellular composites that needed to be cleared. But I mean, I still remember the session where we actually finalized the chronic element and basically bid it no more, because from that day forward, it was more about the energetic connections that we were making, and not at all from the chronic. Because what would happen, even though we would have incredible sessions and make progress, most of that would start to come back because of the chronic.
Because there was a belief system,
yeah,
that she would never ever get over it. That it might get better for a while and she might be able to manage it, but she had a belief that she would never get rid of it. And we got rid of that belief system, and she got better.
Yeah, in an incredible amount of time too. I'll be honest with you, I don't even know what it's like now to live like that, because I am pain-free. And I can honestly, I mean, even though I gave up meds, I still was supplementing with alcohol and any other remedies that I could get away with and still have a functional world. But, alcohol was a heavy component at night, because I could not I wasn't able to sleep at all. That was the other thing, is that I was using any sleep concoction that I could come across without any addiction associated with that. But, if you understand the nervous system, when your nervous system is not able to relax, it's on hyperdrive all the time, which mine was. Sleep is not going to happen. That went away. I mean, it was almost instantaneous. I drink alcohol when I choose to drink. I don't even use a sleep supplement at all. I have no problem falling asleep, staying asleep. That was the other thing. My body was like on guard all the time. As they used to tease me, the doctor told me, you sleep with one foot on the floor, because I was like ready for action at any moment. So yes, it has drastically changed my life, and it all has to do with the regimens that she utilized with me.
And there were some tools that I introduced Melissa to, that she went out and purchased, like the silicone massage cups. So when you have, let's say you're having a stressful day, and you have pain in your shoulders, you have a knot in your shoulders, you don't have to suffer with that. You can use the massage cup, sometimes as little as 5 minutes, and it will soften that up to where it's not so painful. The far infrared lamp is a wonderful tool. That it's like laying in the sun. It's like laying in the energy of the sun. The body absorbs it. It's very healing for the body. The body relaxes. The body responds really, really well to the far infrared lamps.
And that's what I think we discovered too, is my body was very receptive to heat.
Yes.
And so I think that was part of the things that I need to make sure is embracing. Was always using a heating pad. Now it makes sense because I was very receptive to heat. But even the the salt.
Oh, salt stones.
The salt stones that are heated. Anytime you use your stones at all, your heated stones. So I was very receptive to heat.
Yeah, her body responded really well to heat. She had a difficult area, especially in her gluteus maximus. She held a lot of tension there, and a lot of time I could work it, and it wouldn't release until I put heat on it. So you have to play with all the tools to find out what your body will respond to. Not everyone is the same. My body also likes heat, especially the infrared lamps, and for me, it was well worth the investment to have it on hand at all times when I needed it. And of course, I use it on my clients. But some nights when I just can't get comfortable in bed and my back is aching, I will just go lay under the lamp for an hour and I'll fall asleep. But I'll set a timer, and then I just get up and then I go into bed and then I rest really well. So you have to make an effort to find out what your body responds to, and we'll work with that. And there are different ways of releasing emotions and belief systems that we try. And I'm always looking for a new modality to do it quicker and more efficiently. And so.
Let's talk a little bit, let's enhance a little bit more on that, because after we got through with the chronic side of things and was able to have that not on the table anymore, we really started to venture intensely on the energy side of things. So do you want to go through some of the tools that you use now from an energy perspective, and also the clearing of the emotions or challenges with the energies in relation to curses or anything like that can be restrictive?
Yes, that's something that's come up in the last 6 months. I'm finding more people who are showing up with chronic conditions. Their lives are like a black cloud hanging over them. Something bad is always happening. And when you delve a little further, bad things are happening in their family, in all the generations. So it's like it's perpetuated. Well, I recognize that there's a curse on that family. And I will find out in what generation it was placed, and on which, either the mother's side or the father's side. And we'll go back and we'll do energy work by going to the Akashic Records and rewriting your soul agreement to experience this. And once we clear it for you, it clears for all your ancestors going backwards and all your children going forward, all your ancestors going forward.
It's very powerful.
It is.
Yeah, and you've seen, validation, it works from your clients and the return visits with you.
Yes, yes, and and almost everyone that I've cleared and that I brought this to their attention will say, I always thought there was a curse on my family. They innately knew that there was something that was an outside force that was acting negatively on their family. So they're very, very happy to get rid of that. And it also puts them in control of creating a better life. So that is definitely something that has come up more recently. And I think the energies that are coming to the earth now and that are trying to integrate within us are bringing those things up, or these curses got activated, or something, because there are more active now. They're more visible now.
So they're transparent to their surface, yes. So talk more on the energy. What tools are you using now when you do energy work?
I use stones, different gemstones, and I use my pendulum, or sometimes I'm just guided to go and grab a stone and put it in my client's hands while I work on them. I also have recently gotten an Andara crystal, which works through intention. And I also have a selenite sword. And the selenite uses your intention. It follows your intention and can direct that intention into a body, into an energy field, to change it. So those are something that I use. I also use the healing bowls, crystal healing bowls. And I play them and bring the vibration into the client's body. The client is imagining the vibration coming in and going into all areas of disharmony. And it's breaking all that disharmony up, and so that the energies can flow through. And it brings you into a blissful state by bringing those energies into your body. So the bowls are wonderful as well. And
I'm trying to think, just from my observation, I mean, the tools in her toolkit are unreal. And yes, I'm pretty sensitive to energy, and so I could feel her guides come in. So that was kind of a question I had for her: is who is this? And so obviously she has very strong guides, but working with her, I've discovered the presence is there. So she's strongly spiritually guided through the different modalities you're using. It's like you have an idea how you want to treat this client, but there's definitely divine inspiration.
There is, and I always ask my guides, what should I do with this client? And I will do I use this? Do I use this? Do I use this? Do I use this? Which one do I do first? And I use my pendulum for clarification, for confirmation on what to do. And I will follow the protocol that they give me, that they lay out, and it works.
It does work. I think the ginseng was the thing that really opened up a lot for me when it come to after I was clear of the chronic, and how, because I started doing that. My guides started carrying that forward, when I was home. Also, you want to explain a little bit more about that, because that's quite a uniqueness of all the treatments I've had. I think you're the first that ever was exposed with the ginseng.
And honestly, I have not really met anyone else who does it or learned it the same way that I did, which I learned in massage school. And so, as I mentioned, I have about 70 formulas, and some are related to the particular organs, like it might be the spleen meridian, the lung meridian, the stomach meridian, that's needing balancing. And so whatever meridian is out of balance the most and takes priority, that's the one that I will use. And so what it is I'll take Melissa's arm. You use 2 points at all times, a very, very light touch. Really, as light as I can touch is better. The lighter the better, because the energy flows better. And so I will hold the points until I feel it's complete. And I use my breath. I've asked Spirit to give me a sign when the work is complete with these 2 points. And so I cannot take a deep breath until this work is complete. When I can take a deep breath, I move on to the next points, which may be up here, or it might be on the neck, or it might be on the back and the leg. So depending on what it is, but it's a very, very light touch. But even with such a light touch, some people's body will jerk as the energy is adjusting. And some people won't jerk at all, and they may not feel anything but extreme relaxation, which is fine. It's all good. But it's always interesting to see the ones that actually do move. The body is moving as the energy is balancing itself.
I have to laugh. I'm like, I don't know if she was quite ready for some of the movements that went on her table. So.
I had a client once that his arm jerked up and hit me in the head, and it caught me by surprise because it was so fast. But it's just part of it. It depends on this particular person is, reacts to it. But I love ginseng. It's you feel very whole and balanced when you get off the table.
Yes.
And a little bit lightheaded because you do go, your mind goes off into space. You are in that alpha state. It puts you into that alpha state fairly quickly.
Yeah, when, I'm not sure how this correlates, but I remember you had at least, made my awareness about the ginseng. So I was very comfortable with it. And then I realized that my guides were doing the exact same thing to me later. And I would do different adjustments laying in bed. And because of working with Roxanne, I knew exactly what they were doing. Before, if I had any exposure to that, I'd be thinking, what is going through my body? But, they still will. They'll do some adjustments as obviously I need some alignment. But it's very relaxing. And again, those that can feel the energy, you definitely feel the change.
But it's very necessary.
Yes,
it's a very necessary thing because when the body's energy meridians are in balance, the body can heal itself. And that's really important. And so the more that you can release the negative emotions, curses, attachments, get all that negative stuff out of you, and then align the body's meridian systems, the energy systems, the body can heal itself and allow the newer energies, the higher vibration energies to come in and integrate into the body without hitting a block. When a higher energy comes into the body and hits a block, it's very painful. You will have an issue. So if we can clear that block, then the energy can flow through. So that's how the body work can help you to raise your vibration.
Right. And yeah, go ahead.
It just allows your body to receive higher vibrations.
Yeah, and it was a friend of ours, Joy, had asked us a question. Is there a correlation? And until that, we really hadn't connected the dots. And then we really going, wait, absolutely, is there a correlation to my divine abilities, especially receiving the energies that I do, opening the portals and channeling Maitreya and the other divine beings. There's a lot of energy that flows through my body, and now it's less and less impact. But I would not be in a stable state to even allow or receive that.
And so as we were clearing Melissa, and Melissa's ability to perceive energies is it's greater than mine at this point. And I would be working on her, and she'd say, "Someone's here. There's a message," and we would spend 30 minutes on trying to interpret the message and who it was. And then the more clear she became, the faster she was able to understand who was in the room, what were they doing, and it just escalated from there.
That is so true, and still escalating. Watch out for some new videos coming to explain what that means. Okay, what else would you like to share about the body work, energy work?
It's really important. Body work is not a frivolous expense. It's really necessary. So if you've always thought about it as, it's me pampering myself, it needs to be more than that. Yeah. It needs to be a method to stabilize yourself, to ground yourself, to open yourself up to more energies. It's health maintenance. This is my health maintenance organization, my business. This is, you come to me, we will maintain your health because we will get rid of what's not working for you, and I will give you tools to take home for you to work on yourself so that you can continue the process. So almost every time that you come to me, I will send you home with homework, something for you to do to further the healing process. It's a very necessary thing, and as often as you can, get body work. If not from me, get it from someone. Do have energy work, energy balancing, craniosacral, lymphatic drainage, massage, the memories are held in the cells. Memories of trauma, memories of disappointment, happy memories too, but all of those can be released through massage and through body work. You don't need to hold on to the negative ones. And in infant massage, which I learned years ago, that an infant will hold all the emotion of the mother at the time she releases her egg, and of the father at the time he releases his sperm. And when the sperm and the egg come together and create the zygote, all of the emotions of both parents are in that zygote. So as that grows into an embryo, that embryo is holding on to all those emotions. So if they were not happy at the time of conception, that baby is holding on to those emotions. If that baby was not wanted, if it was a traumatic conception, the baby is holding on to all of that. And then while the baby is in the mother's womb, all the emotions that the mother is feeling are transferred to that baby as well. And then on top of that, add the birthing process. If it's not an easy birthing process, that little infant has a lot of emotion to deal with, to try to balance out itself. And so infant massage is really, really important. And a lot of times with infant massage, you start very slowly. You start only with the feet for several days, and then you go into the legs. And so you just do it step by step. And a lot of times the baby will cry as the baby is releasing the emotions that it's holding. And you just let the baby cry because it's just the only way you can get it out. And so continually doing infant massage will get those emotions out. But it's the same with us. The more that your body is manipulated, either through massage or energy work, it's going to release the cellular memory of traumatic emotions. So as often as you can, get body work.
Yeah, I mean, and it is a choice, but it's time to make a choice for you. I'm not going to get on the soapbox about how much we consume way too many external medications. Your body is meant to heal itself. We need to educate ourselves how that is and provide it modalities so it can. I'm proof of that. It does. It heals itself.
And she is my star client because I knew mentally, I knew that body work can help to heal. But to see it, and she came often enough to actually see the results, to where she's a healthy, functioning human being now.
Absolutely.
And I'm very grateful that she was willing to offer herself, as a client for me to work on and do everything that I need to do to make her better.
And you taught me tools along the way. I always was teaching myself lots of different modalities of the holistic nature, but you taught me tools that I had not heard or used before. So I have those now in my toolbox to utilize and continue the self-care. I mean, you have to determine that you're important enough. And pretty soon we'll hear from Maitreya, not particularly on this video, but as he says, own your powers. Will enable yourself to be able to do that. You have to have a healthy state, emotion, and physical body. It has to happen. It's not a secondary thing. It is a primary situation. It's got to take precedence.
It does.
If you don't take care of you, nobody else will.
And it's important to teach your children that mommy needs to go get her body work because it will make her a better mommy. Yeah. Or daddy needs to go and get body work because it will keep his emotions in check and make him a more pleasant dad. So it's good to teach your kids that taking care of yourself, the self-care, is a priority in your life. So please do that.
And and because we're primarily in the Western civilization, it's this culture doesn't always honor that. Other cultures honor that self-care, that, you know, quiet time, the meditation, the massage, all those holistic things that we're finally starting to embrace. So it's nice to see that.
And you know, something else I'd like to add is the skin is the largest organ of the body. And we need touch. We need touch. It's imperative, because you will begin to die without touch. And people in nursing homes who don't get touched anymore, they get very depressed. But just touching, hugs, every day, you need at least 8 hugs a day for health. And who gets that? You know, especially living alone.
Yeah,
you don't get it. You don't get it. And I remember it was before I went to massage school that I hadn't been touched in so long that I felt like I was dying inside. And I understood. And I guess it was good for me to feel that before ever going to massage school, because it just emphasized how important massage is. And there was a study years ago. It was done in Europe somewhere, either in Germany or somewhere around there. It was a study that was done in an orphanage. And they took half the babies and they would feed them without holding them. And then they took the other half and they would feed them while holding them and coddling them. And the babies who were not held started dying because they were not being touched. And so they called off the study. So that's how important touch is. So even if you're not getting a massage as often as you'd like, it's okay to hug your kids. It's okay to hug your mom and your dad. It's okay to hug your friends. You need that. We all need it. So don't let society's parameters or ideas on what's acceptable make you lacking in having your allotment of touch. Go and hug someone. You just don't know how long it's been since they've had a hug. It could do wonders for people. We need to quit being afraid of it. So that was just the last thing I wanted to just interject.
Well, good. I think this was a good video, kind of put some things in perspective. So there will be some links in the comments section, description section, that'll help you connect to Roxanne and some more information that she has available.
Okay. And if you have any questions, just give me a call. But thanks for stopping by and listening to our conversation.